Okay, we're going to try and do this motor some justice. It's a good motor. It's got cheap stickers. Let's see what we can do. You can use one of these decal removers. They're pretty sweet, but if you don't have to, I don't recommend it. If you got a heat gun or a hair dryer, it's going to work better for you. It's going to leave the surface cleaner. You're not going to have all the dust. If you do this right, you can get most of the adhesive off without having to use adhesive remover afterwards. I still had to do quite a bit of cleanup. I'm using a hair dryer. This is not my wife's good hair dryer. This is her old one. Little acetone will clean up your adhesive. Scotch-Brite on one side, shop rag on the other. Little elbow grease will take just a little bit of time. I sanded this all down without videoing it. 240 and this Perf for Max Menards high octane sander that I got. Came with the little fittings, help you get into all the nooks and crannies. And then we're going to clean all that dust off. Using blue disposable shop rags. Go through a handful of these. Some wax and grease remover before you're going to put any paint on. This surface needs to be clean. Also allow ample dry time in between these steps. Make sure the nooks and crannies don't have anything wet. Take a dry towel, accelerate that process. Get the surface nice and dry. Mask off anything you don't want to paint in. These are screw holes. Quickly transform your shop into a redneck paint booth. Just like so. And we're going to use some fillable, sandable rattle can primer. Do a little better job on this if you buy paint for your gun. Rattle can primer is all good. You're usually going to sand this down anyways. It's been a couple hours. I hit it with a hair dryer and make sure it's good and dry. Gonna wet sand that primer down with some 600. Real light. I didn't have any runs in this, so this was easy to do. Go over the contours without the foam block that I'm using. You can feel it getting smoother as you go. Plenty of water. Just take your time and get that surface nice and smooth. And we're doing a cleanup again. Soap and water. Get all that gray wet dust off of it. The final rag should be clean. Again, give it plenty of time to dry before you apply any more paint. Use an air gun. Make sure there's all the moisture's blown out of there. Give her one more wipe down. Tack cloth. Get any fuzzies and particulates off of there before you paint. This is Color Match Phantom Black from Mercury. It's about 25 bucks. I could not find this color in a can for a spray gun If you can find that, I highly recommend it. This product worked okay, but the spray pattern from a rattle can is not great. Make sure that tip stays clean. I got my rubber glove over the tip and got a couple of splotches, but I'm going to wet sand all this down. I'm not going to show that, but I will color sand this when I'm done and give it another touch up. So I'm saving a little bit in the bottom of the can for that. So I have a Brother vinyl cutter, which is pretty slick. I bought this for a few $100. You can find images, create images, and cut them out. And I told my uncle I was going to put pink lettering on this motor for him, so I think he's going to love this bright pink vinyl. Hard to see, mark it, cut it, and then apply this stuff where you want it. Now I'm not doing green and pink. What I'm actually doing here is the negatives. So I'm going to stencil the lettering onto this engine cover. There will be no stickers on this cover when I'm done. So you need some transfer tape. Get your decals prepped. Because my vinyl cutter was limited in size, that I'm actually adding a step to change the Mercury M to put their logo on the motor. This is probably the most time-consuming part of the entire project. Getting all of the vinyl stencils in place. You want low tack vinyl. You do not want very sticky vinyl, because you're going to peel this back off and you don't want to take the paint with it. Here I'm cutting the M off and we're putting on the logo M. Little magic with a razor blade. Prepping the other side. Did this side differently. Vinyl cutter could only do so big, so I'm adding the logo M afterwards. Don't forget all your stencil parts. I'm going to tape everything off, add masking paper, get it ready to spray. You want to completely cover everything so that you don't have any overspray surprises when you unmask. Using Wicked colors. Bought this at Hobby Lobby. This should take 1 to 15 coats, closer to 15. Very light coats, just dust it on. I did dry sand these decals to feather the edges. Final tack cloth before clear coat. Okay, this is clear coat with hardener built in. You gotta puncture the bottom, shake for 2 minutes, and get that hardener mixed in and then spray. Spray pattern on this was pretty nice, better than most rattle cans. But after the can was about 2/3 gone, I had no more coming out. So a little disappointed in a $25 can of clear coat when I can only use 75% of the can. And there's your finished product. No stickers. 2 to 3 layers of clear coat. This should hold up a lot better. Lettering on the front there, I wish I did a little bit smaller, but she'll be fine. Added some extra logos on there just for kicks.